G'day. How are you? Good, good, good. Myself? Yeah, you? Right.
You're on early.
Thunder rolls. Getting windy. It's going to go all night.
Hey?
I think it's going to go all night. We've had bugger all rain, but at least it's cooler. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, a lot cooler. So thunderstorms till 11.
Is it?
And then it'll be really windy.
Oh, well, it's pretty windy now. About 60 k's. 40 mile an hour. Not kick the toes off, please, love.
I can watch my show in a minute.
What show would that be?
American Pickers.
All right.
Oh,
That was a nice bit of lightning, wasn't it?
that seems close.
Yeah, it was.
That's like from there somewhere.
Oh, I saw it hit down over here. It's a beauty. I suppose we could get the stand and point it.
The wind went up blowing it over.
Okay.
That stand is great, but I was thinking about it should be weighted at the bottom. You know what I mean? Maybe we could add something to it.
Well, maybe the leg's a bit flatter. Seems sort of like that instead of it could be like that.
No, I think it's alright, but on top of it, I don't know, blue fish weight, sinkers, whatever you call them.
No, or whatever.
Right.
I liked our old tripod, that was good.
What old one?
With the other camera. Oh, did you see that? Because I saw it in the reflection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh.
Do you mean our big solid one?
Mm.
Oh, well, we've got that. But that little one's been
I don't
great.
think we can fit this on there, though.
I have to look at it. I think you can
Is
get
that be good for your camera?
I think you can get attachments for got to put on for a phone, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, that portable one, I think that's great. We somehow could put weights on the legs.
I'm not bothering around putting weights on plastic. They're too thin. Big base and a cloud, so we're going to have the odd lightning strike and lots of thunder, but I don't think much rain.
That's probably worse though. Surprised there's not some in that cloud over there. That's a big
A lot of it's on top of us now.
Yeah, but then amongst this bit of blue sky, eh?
Yeah, like it's just big clusters of it.
Don't tell me there's people on the oval doing stuff.
Yep.
Man, I wouldn't. No way. So much steel down there. Like the lights, for instance. Actually, that's the point. Are they putting in, where's our, what's the name? The ground stick.
The Earth. Well, the house has already got them.
This one.
Well, it's part of the same house.
I know, but Dad always said...
Well, you can ask. Yeah, you can ask.
Oh, well, because Dad always said you should have one at each end of the house. Like, you don't need the four corners, but you should have one.
Right.
That's what he did. I'm going to watch my show. Should be on. I know, 10 minutes, I think. There's a plane or a helicopter.
That's a plane, I think.
And the sun's trying to creep out.
Trying hard. Take that shower, head back tomorrow then.
Eh?
Take that shower, head back tomorrow.
Maybe take that whole arm, like you said. You know that?
Oh, yeah, then we can check that
Yeah.
fits properly.
Like you might have to go through a few boxes. There could be a few that are like that.
True. Yeah.
Because that didn't sit on its original properly.
No.
Yeah, it's above us, eh?
Hmm?
It's above us, so it's all
Yeah,
lightning.
one of them is.
It's nice being listening to the thunder all day on and off. Oh, there's a fucking... Oh, yeah. I see that over there.
thunder.
That's my shoulder.
Hello, old Ringo. Good to see you. Having a very thundery afternoon. Not much rain, but plenty of lightning and thunder. But it's cooler. We're not complaining. Oh, here we go. I said it's not raining. Now it's going to rain. Started to get very windy, like some YouTubers. But I love the sound of rain, don't you? Probably an early night tonight. Yep, that's an old Johnny Cash song. Nothing wrong with Johnny Cash, good singer, good man. Missed. Probably did that a couple of years ago, that song, hence you didn't see a beard. I tend to have a tradition when we lose someone close to us or family members, I cut my beard off. I keep the clothes on this hard night. Do, 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 do. Change of season's coming, which is great. 7 months of summer is enough. Yeah, June Carter was out of the big family, of course, but she left him, I think, and then a couple of years later, Johnny left us. His final song that he did was Hurt, a cover of the Nine Inch Nails. Great version. I hurt myself today. I couldn't get my apple to play. Another big lightning strike. There's little clusters of thunderstorms all around. Some to the left of me, some to the right of me. some above me. Yeah, travelling Wilburys were good. We lost most of them now. But it's alright. Da 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 da. And it's alright. Do 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 do. Hello, Rujix. Welcome. Oh, don't worry, Bully. They probably just want to play tag. You're it. IRC Bully is the future Mrs. Seeds. Well, you could probably put some lipstick on, Bully. Maybe do your hair in a nice curls. Wear a nice frock. You're still not going to do it for me, kid. But thank you for the offer. Yeah, it's the biggest thing going, Rejects. You generally get out of life what you put into it. Depends what you put into it, of course. Nice sound though, isn't it? Thunder rolls. Pink and Greys are going to the river for the night. $1979, good year, 79. Yeah, the wife's threatening to do a collage of some of my old photos. Yeah, you're a bit of a worry. You want to be my next Mrs. Seeds and you want to see pictures of me. Bully? You want to share amongst the frenzy what you're going on about? An infatuation is not good for you, all right? Admiration is okay, but infatuation can actually lead you down a very disastrous path. Another bit of a storm coming in. Yeah, there's some to the left of us and some to the front of us. I don't actually know a lot about computers. I do remember the IRC days though. Nah, work boots probably. I wish I'll be doing a fair bit of work tomorrow. I'm going to start on a few little projects. Yeah, desert boots, nothing wrong with desert boots. Yeah, that'd be right, Gringo. It's like I grab the concept of things, but then got to turn to the miss and say, how do you fix this damn thing? I get sort of impatient. Well, like I say, we appreciate the cooler weather. We've had a good 3 days of this now. It's down to a freezing 26.
A bit early for my show.
Oh, it's not on yet. Yeah, it looks like
Wicked lightning out the
just
front
2 or
window.
3 clusters. It's not a big storm, but it's all broken up.
Out there,
Yeah, another one went around there.
out the front window was really good. Got a bit colder. Hello everybody. I'm out the back for 5 minutes.
Live,
Live.
uninterrupted broadcast. Down comes the rain. I think I'd like to do Gringo a song.
Yep.
I'm thinking of one.
You know what music you like.
He was a good singer, Marty Robbins. Certainly was. Very powerful voice. That's it. El Paso. I fell in love with a Mexican girl. He just had a really powerful voice. Arizona, right? I didn't know that. Hello, Texas little star. How are you? You're in El Paso.
That's a good song, that.
Yeah, a lot of Marty Robbins songs, though. I mean, he was real big in Australia, probably 70s. Johnny Cash has always been huge in Australia. No, I wasn't a witness, Bully, but I think since the beginning of the year there's been about 30 mass shootings in America. Everyone seems to be numb over there. It's like, oh well, terrible. Next day, another one. Next day, another one. Just out on a park, New Mexico. It's probably the most diverse state in America, from what I can figure. Texas has its big cities, cosmopolitan, has its country folk, has its cattlemen, has its oil men, and down south there's a mixture of Mexicans, you name it, so it's a fairly diverse state. Beautiful beaches, Unfortunately, every now and then a big hurricane comes and rearranges the southern part of Texas. Look, quite a few friends in Texas, actually. Mesa. Mesa, are you in the Mesa? Okay. You know, for all the things that people say against, like, the Vietnamese and the Chinese, man, they work hard.
Yeah.
They are really hard workers.
Yeah, but I was just like, Bully says, Texas sucks. Well, you know what? Every country in the world has something that doesn't suit everybody. You go there, you have a look. Like, we will never go to Frankfurt again unless we have to, like,
No,
passing.
probably not go to Frankfurt again.
But we wouldn't stay in Frankfurt
Marseille.
because we weren't keen on it. But every country has something good going for it as well. If you don't like something, don't go there.
Everything's got, I mean, for us, it always has been the people. And I find a lot of Texans that I know are very Australian in many ways. Mesa, okay, Mesa. It's often pronounced there Mesa, but Mesa's good. Man, I could really confuse you with some of our names. A lot of our towns, cities and regions are named after the tribes of Indigenous Aboriginals in our country. And there's some beauties. Wild Catching, and the spelling would drive you crazy. Gijiganup, all sorts of funny names. Meekathara. I'm not big on big cities, Texas, little stuff. They're all the same. Doesn't matter where you go in the world. It's like there's been a blueprint developed and they're all the same. A lot of people don't look at you, wouldn't give you the time of day, and that's not how I tick.
It's still fun to go look at cities.
Oh yeah, mainly the architecture really fascinates me.
I know some of the Australian names. Wagga Wagga,
Yeah, Wagga Wagga,
Dubbo.
Albury Wodonga,
Yeah, Wodonga. Wide Lane Dilo.
Longa Gonga Matawanga. Okay. Now Long Island. Ooh, that's a flash part. TX. That's a flash part. Yeah, well, it's probably very similar to, we've got one called Ununadata.
What about that one? Where were we?
Lalawani.
Scotland or something, the longest name.
Oh, no, it was Wales.
Wales.
Yeah.
You've got that on your channel.
Yeah.
Well, you did a good job making that name up. Old. We'll name a town after you now. We'll name it that.
I keep thinking Willie's at school. It's going to steal someone else's play lunch.
Oh my God, he just wants attention.
Oh, yeah. Well, touch wood. Australia's never lost an aircraft. There is some major stringent conditions on owning aircraft in Australia. Yeah, on the Hudson, I think you're talking about. TX did a great, fine job, that man. Didn't lose anyone. Yeah, Western Australia's just a little bit bigger than Texas by like a lot, actually. I've got a few Texases in my state alone. Well, we did a little bit of an extra shop today. Just some stuff that we'll use anyway, but we'd sort of got a bit extra, things like disinfectant, bacterial wipes, a nice hoard of chocolate. What else did we get? Some painkillers, some ibuprofen, which I don't take any of those, but our family does.
No, I don't take it.
Hello, Mel. Yeah, just knick-knacks and paddywhacks to put in the cupboard. I can catch anything, bully. I'm from the generation that used to go and get a feed. You know what I mean? Call this a knife.
Oh yeah, you were gonna make bread. Seeds can make bread. He's got some on
Yeah.
his channel that he's made, haven't you?
Yeah, got quite a few
You've got the
videos
onion
making
bread
bread.
on there?
I think I have. I'm not sure.
He made a few different ones.
Not a prepper, no, I'm just a realist. Last time we stocked up was for a different reason, and we gave a lot to the homeless shelter. So it all works out good. Like I say, there's no harm in having a little bit of backup. Things like cleaning products and disinfectants and bleach, use them all the time anyway, so and they don't go off. It's just one of those things. But the extra food that we're getting, and probably get a bit more when times come good again, and I hope they do. There'll be a trip down to the local homeless shelter, make sure Bully gets a fair cut of it, but the other old fellas that rock in, make sure they get some as well. There's all sorts singing at the moment. It's the time of the year, like during the heat, they just sit under a tree and don't say anything. But when the weather changes, they all start thinking about nesting and things like that. Well, if you're talking the third person, the first person obviously is not worth talking about. But still, it helps people psychologically to get through their day.
Oh, you spell check. It's just probably you've got my keyboard. I tend to pass it around, don't I?
Yeah.
VMAC uses my keyboard. Mel uses it. Buttercup uses it. Yes, damn spell check on phones is funny sometimes. You've got to admit some of the words are correct.
My smaller phone was a pain in the bum because I'd
Yeah.
type and then I'd bump it and I'd get people like, what's that word mean? I said, Then, bloody Apple phones, they tend to change the word to suit themselves.
Yeah, it does, and then it doesn't really make sense, does it?
Butter needs a job.
Buttercup.
Don't think so. I think being retired with lots of money doesn't require you to get a job, Bully. That's why you're working 9 till 5 with a blonde wig and those high heels and a tutu. As you walk in the door, they play the song. Bully's working 9 till 5 just to make a living. Yeah, we haven't been to Aldi's in a long time.
No, we haven't actually.
But look, I mean, all this, I'll be honest, I mean, if people know me well enough, don't use packaged or tinned foods. But I will eat anything if I have to. I'm very creative.
Oh, you met Dolly Parton. Cool.
She seems like a really nice lady. Could sit down and have a beer with Dolly. Aldi seems to be, and there's another one called Lidl, I think, another German company, isn't it? Very similar. They were going to come here.
They are.
Are they coming?
Sydney, I think. I don't know about in here.
Yep, she seems real down to earth.
Costco should just be about open.
That's the big store here, man. They're going to open.
Yeah, near the airport. Let's see, who have I met? I've met the Osmonds. I've met Johnny Farnham.
Yeah.
I've met Ted Mulry Gang. They probably don't even know these bands.
Yeah, no, I met Ted and Gerald years ago.
Old Gringo likes different music. Google.
Come jump in my car.
Yeah, Ted Mulry Gang. Well, you should know Johnny Farnham. I met him. Who was the others around that time? Guy Hooks. I met them.
Slim Dusty.
I never met Slim Dusty.
I used to work with Slim Dusty's road manager.
John Williamson I've met.
Jojo likes to be of hands, helping hand. And she turns around the car. What are you doing in the back seat? I'm going to help you unload as well. Jojo says, boom, boom. Yep. I imagine at that stage, old Gringo, you were in love with her. Fancy getting hugged at 16 by Dolly Parton. And I bet you never shut up telling all the other boys. She smothered you with her personality. I understand. Christine Amplet, who was the lead singer out of the Divinals. She was pretty rough, as in language, but good singer. You meet lots of people if you live long enough. Yep, and that'd be true. You'd be saying to your mates, smell my cheek, smell. Oh, someone's getting in the danger ground.
Yeah.
And no, 16, big difference between 10 and 12. I'll have to marry the boy, she said. It's never lost on me, even though people, if you want to put it in brackets, famous, it's not lost on me, they're just normal people. And I'm sure they sometimes wish they weren't famous. Billy Connolly was funny. About 10 years ago, he was stopped in the street and said, "Oh, it's the big gin, it's Billy Connolly." And Billy said, "No, I'm his stunt double." And they believed him. "You look just like him." "No, stunt double." Of course, Billy didn't do stunts, but...
No. Oh, yeah, just standing there. He was a stunt double in a bandana.
He used to
Yeah,
just,
but, you know,
he used to just find a pub
and his
in
lunchbox.
Scotland or Ireland or in the UK, and he'd rock in with his musical instruments and join a few blokes for a bit of a session.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be right, Gringo.
Well, at the time, not many boys.
It's got every album Dolly ever made.
Yeah, yep.
Islands in the sun. Da, 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 da.
With Kenny Rogers. I like his music too.
The Gambler. You gotta know when to fold it. It's a very appropriate song for a lot of YouTube, isn't it? Know when to hold 'em.
All right,
Know
see your
when
text.
to walk away. See your
Okay,
text.
Gotta go live. I
Know
didn't-
when to run. Who was a bit snobby? Crystal Gale? Yeah.
Crystal
probably
Gale. Who's Chris? Sing me a
singer.
song.
No, I can't remember a lot of her songs, but she was pretty big.
I have to Google, so I can't remember.
Low battery warning. I've got about another 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We shall close this evening's
It's
session.
lasted better today. So you
Yeah.
obviously let it charge fully on the inside charger.
Not sure what sort of meal you're going to make out of all that money and a knife and a gun, Bully. Is there a special food that you produce out of that?
Yes, there's Tex. All right. Have a good day.
See you, Tex. Hello, Buttercup. Stormy weather here.
You'll have to stay on for at least another 5 minutes now for Buttercup.
Yep, we'll hang another 5.
Buttercup, you've got the power. If you feel the need to time someone out, it's all yours, love.
My ears are all ear at you, because your 6 gun on the side of your hip's about to be used. Come here, lad. I know you live in America, Bully. You haven't got a passport. Furthest you've been from home is the milk bar.
The Milky Bar kid with a 221.
True. Yeah, come here. It's a little bit like a Liverpool kiss, but a little bit harder. See, Bully, this is how it works. I'd walk up to the edge of Gringo's property, say, "G'day, old Gringo." He'd say, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, I've got no food, but I can see your shelter needs a bit of repair. I'll give you a hand doing that, and I can help grow some food, and I'm pretty handy. Even though I'm old, I can do all this stuff." Gringo probably look at me, lower his weapon and say, "Sounds good to me."
I know, Buttercup. And thunderstorms all day. It's been...
Not much rain, though.
Today, not a lot of rain, but we have had a bit, and thunderstorms. It's been really nice.
Welcome back, Princess Miliana.
Welcome back. Oh, where's me?
I'm going to have to get the battery because I don't think it's going to last too much longer.
Mel gets a star.
Bully? No looking at the arse, all right?
Now here comes a bit of rain. How's yours, Mel? You got thunderstorms and rain? We have. No, we've had a little bit of rain on and off today, and we've got a bit now, and thunderstorms. Gonna move back a little bit. Sorry, people, I'm just trying to fix the table up. Oh, it was pretty bad in Perth, Mel. I knocked the phone over, I'm sorry. Just trying to stop the table from wobbling. Kentucky rain. Yeah, I love a rainy night.
I love a rainy night. Rainy day. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. There's another one coming in. Check that out.
Please stand the phone up, let me fix
That was there for a reason.
it. Move.
Righto, no worries.
There.
Keep your niggers on. Oh, that goes like that.
I warned you, bully.
You got him.
Buttercup, I left the pleasure because I knew she was coming in the room. I deleted enough messages.
I don't want to go to rehab. No, no, no. Where you are? That's where you's at.
Raindrops.
Plenty of rain songs, isn't there? Trying to point you in the direction.
Just watch the wind. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Maybe up a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that might do it. Raining on my heart.
You might say a bit of lightning. I have to keep
Here's
on.
the old classic one called I'm singing in the rain. Just singing But in the rain,
What a
oh,
glorious
oh,
feeling
yes.
I'm having.
Happy again. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Give me some gold towels. Do. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Do.
Crying's not for me.
Rainy day and Sundays. Something magnificent about thunder and lightning.
Isn't it funny how some people...
Rainy day and Mondays, not Sunday. All right, I'll make a new
Rainy
song
days
out.
and- Yeah.
Good
Hey,
morning, Scarlett. Gale force warning. It is actually tonight. It's going to be about 45 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour, which is normal. Archie Bunkers. Well, I reckon you could play a few of them songs, Jojo. And you could probably do a few gags in the same video. Trending on YouTube.
Now, if I had some paint, I
Jojo
could
Piano Man.
use that board and live do a creation that could be worth $1 million.
What, paint something?
Yeah, just like from here, splash the paint on.
Yeah, there's quite
And then-
yeah, soul, R&B, yeah, all good. I like all music, to be honest. Even classic. Well, this is what Bully can hear in the sound box where he's in at the moment. Boom, 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 boom.
He probably won't come back whenever he's
Or
been...
he might be listening to...
Yeah, there's been time Daddy doesn't usually come back.
Dance of the Sugar Plum Prairie played just for RC Bully. Welcome back.
Oh. Better give her a star. There you go, Mel. Yes, you lost your star, so now I've given you 3 because you said, I'm back.
Sounds like a song. Evening, Jojo. How are you going, mate?
You don't have to apologise,
Yeah.
Buttercup. I was waiting for you to come in.
Space 1999.
No, I don't remember that show.
No? Danger, Will Robinson.
That's Lost in Space.
That's true. Jittering old professor on the television series, of course. Those were the days. I dream of Jeannie, F Troop, my favourite Martian.
Mork and Mindy.
No. I always thought that Robin Williamson's brain was 3 people because they could all talk at the same time. He was certainly gifted. Any thoughts on the COVID-19, just to have case in Sacramento? I don't think it's stoppable, is my answer. It's comparable, if we talk about different viruses over many years, all the immunologists, Scarlett, are saying it's comparable to the Spanish flu. Hard to stop. We have far better stringent measures today than they would have in 1918, of course. I think it's going to take a natural course, and I think some of us will get lucky that a vaccine will be developed specific for it, but not straight away. Here to stuck on 82. Man, that's a bit cold. You can bump it up a bit, mate. Just come live here during summer, JJ. You can do live broadcasts
Sweating.
as you're laying in an iron lung.
I think my show is on.
82's not hot. We're doing a little bit of extra buying, Scarlett, and I did a little video the other day, just a little teaser, nothing telling anyone to do anything. Look, I mean, there are measures underway throughout Western cultures, if you like, not just countries, but cultures, where the administrations are all working together on a plan, and that is preparedness to shut everything down. That hasn't worked in many places, but it has worked to an extent in China. Let's give them a bit of credit, even though they started it. I mean, they've already passed what they call extraordinary laws here where, and it's in our newspapers, it's not hiding anything, that big AFL football matches where they get 100,000 people will be suspended. They won't play them. Major festivals won't happen. They're not saying they're going to close them down now, but they're telling all these organisations this is what's going to happen. School children will not be going to school. Simple. And one of our major retail supermarkets yesterday, Scarlett, came on television and said, this is not a panic broadcast. We're having difficulty with supplies already. That means the peripheral things that are brought into this country. We have no problem producing our own food. We're a net exporter, so we're not going to go hungry. But all the bits and pieces and the knickknacks and paddywhacks that come in from overseas. But like I say, just the old adage is that, you know, my parents come from an era of mend and make do. In other words, there wasn't much money around, like today, and they just made things last. So if the supply chain, this is the old story, if you can't get what you want, grow it. If you can't get what you need, make it. Or do without. Mend and make do. And people say, oh, I don't know how I'm going to survive if I've only got beans and rice and a few. You'll be fine. Because they're not what you should all be eating. I've told this the other day. 8 weeks of a garden, you're starting to eat from it. 12 weeks, you're getting a fair, good amount of food, and at 16 weeks, it's a harvest. And everybody will learn the skill. I'm happy to teach people, and so will many other people. And you don't grow potatoes during times of extreme, you grow squash, pumpkin. Why? Because they last an incredibly long time. On the vine or in the cupboard, potatoes last a week. Unless you can bury them in nice soil and put them under the ground or leave them underneath. But pumpkins, you'll learn to eat whatever. Anything that I have stored will be a supplementary food. I'll catch fish. If I have to, I'll shoot a roo. Whatever it takes. I know how to kill a beast. I know how to strip a beast down to make jerky without any electricity. Root cellars are excellent. But if you're smart, you just top up. Just think, walk into your cupboards and kitchen and think, if I didn't leave the kitchen, could I survive for 2 or 3 months? If the answer's no, go and do a bit of a shop. Pretty simple, really. Like I say, if we talked about this being bad, it's not the worst pandemic we could face. You know, 3%, 4% is a lot of people. But it's not 50 to 70 to 90% like with Ebola. So this is probably a great wake-up call. Hello, Blinky. A lot of people just don't have knowledge to do anything. They just consume. I'll guarantee you, if Blinky gets hungry, she'll go down the top paddock, she'll wait a while, pick the right one, probably the younger one, and there'll be a nice feed of brew going on. I'm pretty sure Blinky could strip it, salt it, and hang it, make jerky the old-fashioned way, because you'll eat anything when you're hungry. Well, we've got to be brutally honest about the economy. It's terrible. Forget about the coronavirus. It's been terrible for a long time. Even in Australia, look, people have been a bit racist by not saying anything, but by not attending Chinese restaurants. There's about 8 closed in the big city here. And there's no need to. These people are 4th or 5th generation Australians. Yes, they look Chinese, but they're Australian. But that's a knee-jerk reaction from people, and people get scared. Well, I do love my history, and I can tell you one of the major forms of currency in the United States in the early years was tobacco. Seriously. English money wasn't worth anything. Tobacco was indeed one of the biggest trading items. £1 of this, £2 of that. Yeah, Chinese in Australia, even though they might have been here 2 or 3 generations or more, love to attend family gatherings in China. And a lot of that didn't happen this year. The festivals that would normally... Australians love Chinese culture, and they had big Chinese festivals, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth. They haven't gone ahead. Barter is the only way. Bullets, no trade value. Cash, not really. Weapons, well, you can use them to shoot things. Or you can learn to trap without firing a shot. I think the answer is no, Buttercup, because the percentage of death is so low in compared to something else. Will it get bad economically? Yep. Fear alone. You're seeing it unfold. I said that about a week ago. You watch it, it's going to happen. I don't know how much has been lost off the stock exchange, but it will be a large amount, and it's not going to stop. This is a downward trend which is following fear. That's what drives any economic markets, is fear. The fear of the unknown in this case. You can be blasé if you like, saying, well, it's not going to happen here. Yeah, it does. Everyone has had a turn at diversity. Australia's just gone through something terrible. So it happens here, and it can happen there. But if you're just smart, top up a little bit. If you're on medications, just tell your doctor you'd like to have 3 or 4 months supply, please. And during these times, I don't think he would say no. I don't know enough about that, Buttercup. I don't understand the frequencies of 5G, but the effects of it, I don't know. Without boasting, a lot of older Australians know a lot of crap about growing, catching, killing, eating, without going to the supermarket. There's enough of us old enough to teach. 5G absorbs oxygen. Okay? Just while I'm on 4G. Every one of you that's talking to me now, you don't need an IFD put into your arm, because the device you're on tells anyone where you are, what you buy, what time you buy, what time you go to a local hairdresser. They got all that. It's all there. when you see someone who's caught for a horrendous crime, a lot of the time, they track them. They find out who it is. Are they on the internet? Are they using a mobile device? Within minutes, they know where you are. Oh, do you see that lightning? It's weird, it's all over the place. I've always said, Scarlett, that let's go back 5,000 years. People were not less intelligent. They were the same as us. And they were very creative. They didn't have iPhones, they didn't have the internet, agreed. But they were pretty smart. Colloidal silver, is that what you're talking about? I think they call it colloidal silver. It's been used for centuries. Just don't get into colloidal lead. Give that one a miss. Like I say, you don't have to build a fortress, you don't have to hide, you just need to be smart. Yeah, there's many, thousands of years ago, aqueducts were around, not only by the Romans, the Aztecs, you name it, lots of cultures were very smart. Like I say, the only difference between them and us is today's technology, today's medicine, understanding. They didn't have that, but they were smart. Manuka, yep. Gee, some Manuka honey is just obscene in its price. Certainly a lot more storm coming. It's all little patches. Bits of this and bits of that in the sky. The body's amazing when you think about it. All these people that are getting sick, there is no medicine for them. It's the human body with its immune systems. When you're old and weak through natural degradation, and maybe heart problems and diabetes and whatever, it's killing lots of them. The rate I saw this morning was 14% of people over 80 who catch this die. So the older you are and the weaker you are, this one will get you. Just gonna move the damn table for a sec. Sorry about that. We will resume natural transmission now. Chap in America is producing a Sabani. It's up better than lots of other things. Yeah, a lot of Indigenous Aboriginal Australia who've been eating Western crap for the last 100 years, they die younger through diabetes mainly because they don't have a process for alcohol or liver. They don't have the enzymes to break it down, so it kills them. An Aboriginal can have like 3 glasses of alcohol and he's pissed. They're trying, I know the smooth talkers are saying, yeah, but it's just like the common flu. No. 0.1 is the death rate with people over a certain age with the flu. 3.0 is this death rate, or 14.0 if you're over 80. So about 1,400 times more. You just got to say to yourself, all right, I'll minimise where I go. I'll buy a bit extra food, a bit of extra cleaning products, whatever, heaps of toilet paper, whatever. Because you'll use cleaning products in the future. You'll use toilet paper, guaranteed, in the future. You may not use a lot of tin goods and you might give them to the homeless shelter later. Yeah, I'm waiting for that, old ring. As you know, my feelings are it just seems to be hitting people of a certain race or denominations in countries, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Korea, people have had the coronavirus here, we could come preppers, right? Well, we are anyway, Mel. We go hunting at Coles. I've got about 5 feet under this deck out here, and we'll build a little trapdoor, Mel. Just me and you will be going down there. We'll leave the missus up here for a scout, to warn us, if we'll be doing the cooking in the shelter. But it doesn't hurt. Just top up. If you don't use it now, you'll use it later. I was going to get some fruit, Mel, and in Coles you got all these fairly big tubs, like a big tub of them. It's only about $3 or $4, but none of them have got use-by dates on them. I asked one of the girls, she said, I don't know, I just work here. I said, all right, fair enough. The only thing that people, if we do go through a quarantine process, right, so you're advised to stay in your own home, going to go a little bit batty, like stuck in the same place. Whoa, fish and chips. Where'd you get it from? I want to know. So you've got to prepare for that. Aspartame, I don't like artificial anything. I like real butter. Cabin fever, that's the words I was looking for. And let's say there's no power. It's not the end of the world. You all go through power failures now. It just might be a bit longer. You can gather a few little bits of leaves and tweaks, and you can make a little rocket stove. I don't need to tell you how to do that. A can within a can with holes. You know what I mean? You'll be able to cook something, just a handful of bits and pieces. So that's not a problem. It's what you're cooking. What am I cooking? Yeah, Scarlett, huge difference between being alone and being lonely. Having your own company and you enjoy it, that's fine. Yeah, I had a little one no bigger than about, I think it was 4 inches across and about 5 inches high. And use the right fuel, goes for a long time. But you don't need a lot of heat to cook. Particularly, a lot of the stuff you'll be reheating. Yep, that's right. You've got your own little encampment, Scarlett. It's what makes each of us tick differently. Some things work for some people. But quarantine in your own area could be interesting. Do you live on a property of your own? Well, I know Scarlett does, but do you live in a block of units? I'd probably think about moving somewhere. So if you do live in a built-up area, maybe think about a go-to place. Yep, they are, Buttercup, and their demands are they want immediate gratification. I want to tell him, right, on a holiday, right? Ever thought about, saving money and then having the money to go and do what you want? Might have to wait a bit longer. Yep, that's true, Buttercup. My grandfather taught me a couple of good lessons. One was you get everything you need first. And then, if there's some pennies left over, you get what you want. But not until. Don't use other people's money. Use yours. But we're a quite diverse species. And even those that don't know stuff would, by trial and error, eventually find out they can do stuff. But the most knowledgeable are the older people because they grew up in some adverse conditions, like not true poverty, but having very little. And they got by. mean, today's variety of food is staggering, if you think about it. Yep, I don't mind foraging in the forest. Find lots of goodies. Yep, in the desert, particularly in our deserts, you'd be up most of the night. You come around about 8 o'clock in the morning, you'd be in a hidey hole, keeping cool. It's not death, it's fear more than anything, because worst scenario, 3% of us won't be here, but 97% of us will. That's how we've done as a species, we bounce along. Actually, I read an article, and for me, it's very true. And I'll give you the explanation of what this article was about. It was about the effects of World War I and World War II. Not the war, okay? Forget the war side of it. The effects on countries isolating themselves from each other. And I read this article, we absolutely spot on. What's happening is fear is making countries close down their borders, stop their airlines. It's exactly what happened in the world wars. In other words, people just contract to their own nations or their own villages. That's what happened in the wars, and that's what's happening with this virus. Inevitably, there'll be the blame game. No, it doesn't. Globalisation doesn't. It works very well if you're very wealthy. That's how it works. You know, globalisation works brilliantly if you're one of the big earners. It doesn't work well for all of us. Become part of their chain gang. And believe it or not, a lot of these rich people around the planet are crapping bricks at the moment because margins are dropping. There are many banks around the world, believe me or not, this got bad. There'll be banks, let's say Scarlett had $10,000 in the bank. Well, in the future, at the end of the year, there'd be no interest, but there could be $150 taken out of your account. So you'd have $9,850. And the banks say, well, we're holding your money, you've got to pay for it. And you know what? That's what banks did in the beginning. It was a safety deposit box in the early days, run by different types of people, but that's how it worked. At the end of the year, you had 100,000 shekel, and now you've got 90,000. But we looked after your money. Negative, is what I'm saying. And that's, can you imagine on 401ks and superannuations and pensions that you've saved into? Well, in the last few days, you've lost probably 7 or 8% of that. Just like the GFC. People walked away with nothing. But we'll bail out the big car companies and whatever. Greed is the biggest problem on this planet, and with people in general, even on small scale. Well, I don't think it needed much of a push, Buttercup, but it will be a catalyst for fear in the markets for sure. Exactly. Like I said, my grandfather's words ring in my ears. Get everything you need. And when the pennies are left over at the end and you got everything you need, he said, you get whatever you want. No pennies, no wants. But we'll be okay. We'll get through this. The only thing I'm suggesting is just add a bit of insurance to it. A bit of extra food, medications, etc. Just, you know, top up. I think when that collapse happens, it's going to be extraordinarily rapid, Scarlett. I mean rapid, like 2 days. The big one, and then the residual next day. The markets are crushed. Yeah, it's not who's running the monkey show, let's be honest, it's just a circus. And the circus is running out of performing monkeys. It's the one thing that doesn't really worry me, but it will be of concern, is if enough Chinese revolt. They are, apparently, by all reports, not a happy bunch of people. They're a bit tired of the draconian system of do as you're told. They've tasted the Western world. They like a bit of what's there. Scarlett, I don't have any interest in who runs the country, because what Gringo said is true, it's systematic. System runs along full steam ahead. Whether you got a Democrat, whether you got a Republican, whether you got a Liberal or Labor, does not matter. The wheels of what has been going on for 100 years or more, they turn irregardless of who's the top dog at the moment. Yeah, it's more the suppression, I think, Buttercup, the feeling of worth, that they feel worthless. See, I mean, it's one of those really strange analogies when you break it down. We run the world. General people like you and me run the world in our billions. But we're harnessed, controlled. If that ever broke loose, oh, did you see that lightning? That was a beauty. If it ever broke loose, it would be, you all would have, in recent times, would understand the Arab uprising, or the Arab Spring, if you call it. It was an uprising in many countries. Well, that could happen all over the world. It didn't. It happened in Arab countries. But there's no reason, and it's happened before. I'm not telling you anything that hasn't already happened, but that's right. That's the plaque I would be putting on the wall, Scarlett. We keep the world running, but we don't run the world. There was a famous economist who said, if you wanted to break the system, the answer is to do nothing. By that he meant you don't buy anything, you don't get any gas, you don't buy any clothes, because the wheels grind to a halt. They do. They keep us well and truly unattached to their tether. Basically, they'll attach us when it suits them. There's a lot of people on this planet. And I did say in a video a couple of years ago, and Buttercup might remember, and I'm not saying this is the one, but Mother Nature has a way, and I'm talking about the planet, of shake, rattling and rolling. You can throw in any denomination of religion and tie it into that if you wish, but what the world happens from time to time over the eons is that many people fall, and you sometimes wonder, is the planet looking for a balance? Between the planet looking for a balance and the evil pricks that run it, we don't get much chop. The old do as I say, but don't do as I do. We're not going to have that issue here, Scarlett. Like I said, we're a net producer. We eat probably 5% of what we produce. Big bottle of LP gas, which is down there. Well, if you're just using that for cooking, there's 2 years, Blinky, easy. Why? Because I used to do it myself. Big 45 kilo or 100 pound in the US of gas just for cooking, 2 years minimum. A lot of Aussie homes still have gas bottles. I was quite young when I realised it doesn't matter who's in power. You sometimes think because you voted for the winning side that you've influenced. Yeah, I just cook on twigs. Yep, Blinky says 2 years on the last one. Yep, they're good to go. But I think it's the as a species, we're very diverse. We can eat anything, and we do. We can learn quickly because we have the abilities, and we're very resilient. I mean, if I was with Blinky and we caught a roo, we'd eat like kings for about 3 days. Probably like two fat wombats. Go lie on our back going, oh, geez, I've eaten too much. But we're quite resilient because we might not eat for another week, which, yeah, that's okay. Find another roo. The one thing that saddens me, I've known a few people that became politicians in this country, and they all start out with their idealism of, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make it better for older people, better education, better health. They all start off with that. There's not one politician that doesn't. I can make roo jerky, yep. Scarlet, 7 months of a year, it's over 100 degrees. I can make jerky even without trying. Cool mountains in summer, yeah. I know people that got property in Arizona, and they do exactly that. During the summer, they go to the mountain. During the winter, they go down the valley. And it's all on their own property. And I know some people have got good cave systems on some of their limestone rocks and hard rock that they carve into. This is not the end of the world. Coronavirus may be a catalyst for a huge economic downturn and sadly many deaths. It won't end the world. But if you're on medications, just have a whisper in your doctor's ear. So look, I'd like to have 3 or 4 months supply. And if he says, why? You say, well, I don't know about this coronavirus. I don't want to come and see you. If there's heaps of people coming to see you with the virus. And he'd probably say, yeah, fair comment. Australian doctors would do that. They'd give you 3 or 4 months supply, no problem. Because you just come up with a logical answer. Probably the last place I would want to work if there became an outbreak. There's a couple of places, but this one would be the worst place to work, would be a chemist or a pharmacy. Everyone's going to come in, and no one comes into the chemist or pharmacies, or you call them drugstores, unless they need something because they're not well. Not a good place to work when you think about it. But these are just the ramblings of an old man down under. I come from a land down under where there's plenty of thunder. Well, no, really, we hardly ever get thunder. Have a good one. I'm going to shoot off too, guys. Have a good day, Buttercup, Scarlet, and all of you. Old Gringo, enjoy your day. Blinky, have a good one. What time is it? Yeah, it must be, nearly time for your bedtime, Blinky. Just a wee drum before you go to bed. Have a good day or night wherever you are, and we'll catch you all again another time. Bye-bye.